Hi guys. Okay. Hello. Welcome to episode 13 of the AuraCast. I'm one of your hosts, DragonBeaz, joined by, as always, CinderShots.
Hello. If I
Uh,
had, if I was looking away from the camera, it's because I was answering another amazing question from my other half. It was
well,
great.
but before we get into that, look, we're just gonna roll into the intro, and I'll give you this to think about while we're in the intro. If you're standing in a lift and and you're riding up in the lift, does that count as you're flying? Have a
Oh,
think. Hello. So,
no, you're not flying.
no, you're not flying. Riley's just a twat. Anyway,
Anyway,
this is
yeah,
the
it's
this
such a.
is this is the conversation we were having while we were in pre-stream.
Do you want to hear the latest
Um,
one that just happened before we just started?
what was the latest one?
Is a house technically a Pokeball?
Is a house technically a Pokeball?
hmm
Yeah, but a Pokemon doesn't live in a Pokeball because it's a form of transport, really, when you look at it.
So is a Pokeball a car?
Well,
Oh
no,
God, I'm just
no,
bad now.
because it hasn't got wheels.
Welcome to the AuraCast. It's episode 13. With your host DragonBeaz and also joined by CinderShots. That's not my line. Don't worry about it.
So,
Um,
yeah. All right. So that's been my existence. Have a wonderful rest of 2020, and we'll see you next year. No. So this is
Stop
uh.
Apro.
This is the last Auracast for the year. The reason being is that the next one would fall on the 26th of December, and that's kind of not going
We
to
ain't doing
happen.
that.
So the next one will actually be on I think it's the 2nd of January, so that'll be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, last Overcast of
So
2020.
this is the last Auracast of 2020, and it's ending on 13, which is probably unlucky, but that's just how these things work.
It's at least it's not a Friday the 13th. It's fine.
It's a Saturday.
Yes.
It's wonderful. So anyway, so lots of things to talk about, believe it or not,
Is
because
that
I haven't told Cinder that I've actually got some things in my head. I'm just gonna throw them under the bus.
cool? Fantastic. Let's go.
So yeah, not much on the AG side of things. It's just been a bit chill. We will be starting all nice and happy and fresh in 2021. It's we're just getting back in the swing of things with a few things. And it's been an interesting few weeks for everyone. But yeah. What else? Well, let's do what we usually do. What have you been playing this week?
Well,
Other than Animal Crossing.
oh, cool. Not actually no, because something I want to talk about briefly. And you have to stop me at some point because I will ramble for ages.
All right,
Early access,
stop.
but thanks for watching. No, early access for Sephiroth for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out. I say early access. He comes out technically on the 22nd or 23rd. That
Yep.
DLC. But you can buy it early, and if you have to fight as pass, you have it already. And Sephiroth's challenge is now available, where if you beat it on very hard, you get access to the character and the stage and music early.
Yep.
And it's such a fun character. I normally do a lot of practice against CPU at different difficulty levels when I'm trying to practice a character. This new addition to Smash Bros has allowed me to fight against CPU difficulties I've never reached before.
Oh, really?
Sephiroth is such fun to play. It's such a fun addition to Smash Bros. I didn't expect Sephiroth to come to Smash Bros at all, but turns out he's really fucking fun. So I've been enjoying that. Apart from that, I've been joining you on Dynamax Adventures every now and then.
Yes.
Um, I still haven't got a shiny because Dynamax hates me.
Well,
Um,
the funny thing with the shiny situation in that is that I got like 3 shinies in a couple of days, and then I've had like I think one in a month. It's been so bad for me.
I
But
did, however, get a shiny on Pokemon Masters. I think yesterday.
oh yeah,
My
I did
first
say that.
shiny.
I
I
did.
hatched an Onyx. It was a shiny Onyx, and I was so happy.
So
Thanks, Apple.
yeah.
um,
Well, what else have you been doing? Lots of Animal Crossing. I know that
lots of
because
Animal Crossing.
Riley's obsessed.
Oh, it's so fun. Super Smash Bros. Has gone back into my regular list of games. I've 100%ed the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remaster that came out on Switch about just under a month ago.
Nice.
I'm very happy with that. It's such a fun game. Apart from that, I haven't really done anything else out of the ordinary. It's just been a lot of Pokemon and Animal Crossing and Pokemon Masters now, 'cause I'm addicted to that again. So yeah, I finally got Gloria that was added to Masters. It took me
Okay.
so long, but I got 3 5-star rare characters in one pull of 11. So yeah,
Nice.
I was happy. About time.
We've
Yeah.
all recovered from the Game Awards 2 weeks.
Yes,
That was a full-on whole lot of stuff.
that was a busy time, man.
It
Everyone was
was
talking about it.
interesting. Correction, I got
Thanks, Ryan.
Pokeballs. The truth is coming out. Um,
Riley is my good luck charm. That's why he did it.
uh, so yeah, I've been. What have I been doing? I've been playing Destiny 2. I'm so proud of the fact that I'm keeping up with that.
Yes. Are you
Uh,
still ahead?
no, no. Well, I'd like to say yes
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like Pedal cheated.
Oh, we're going off
Controversy.
our
Controversy.
Oh, snap.
Because I've kept up on the season pass and I'm still only a couple of levels behind Pedal on the season pass, only with
Mhm.
my Warlock. Pedal has played as all 3 classes,
Oh.
which is an advantage
Mhm.
because you can do same quests over on the other classes. So it's like,
Got ya.
because the season pass carries over all 3 classes,
Yeah.
but the quests don't. So I
Oh, okay. No, that's not cheating. That's just genius.
Well,
So I
it's
think you're
smart. I
smart.
mean, in the grand, but the thing is, and even Pedal pointed this out, is that if I started working on my other classes, which is not something I typically do, I would
Yeah.
eclipse them very quickly.
I know when I used to play Destiny, the classes of Warlock, Hunter, and Titan, right?
Correct, yes.
I've never played Titan, but I did enjoy a lot of Warlock, and I did play a bit of Hunter, and that was fun.
Warlock's best.
Warlock's always my go-to because it's just so fun to play. But I never
Warlock's
played
best.
Titan.
I can assure you that. Oh, don't say that. Danny's a Titan player. He's
Look,
also.
I have respect for the Titan players because they're so valuable to a team, but no, it's not my thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh! Is there judgment?
Constantly. Yeah. Exciting
Oh,
news
man.
in the Destiny world is that crossplay is coming next year, which means that maybe, just maybe, there might be an opportunity for an Aura Guardians cooperative to be able to do some raids and stuff. So that's exciting.
That's cool. I didn't even know that was coming to
Yep,
Destiny.
it's happening next year.
I might have to get back into Destiny.
Because then you can play it. So if you're on PlayStation, you're on Xbox, or on PC, you just play together. So it's going to be really good.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Because they got cross save
I'm
at the
gonna do
moment, but you can do cross save, so you can move your save and play on a different platform.
that. Mhm.
But yeah, cross
Oh,
play is going to be good.
Among Us on Switch came out.
I did see, yes, I was going to say, and it's also been announced that it's coming out on Xbox next year.
Yes, it's going to be on Xbox Game Pass,
Hmm.
and which is amazing. But Nintendo Switch version is weirdly fun to play.
In
The
what way
wired
though? What's different about it?
So you go to a task and then go to a next task, and it's not just the same. I'll just push the same button. Every task is a different kind of button, and when you think you know what button's going to be pressed, you go to the next task, forget what button it is, and then you have to use like a mix of ZL and Y for some reason.
Oh, okay,
And it's not just the same. Go to a task, press A, do a thing, move on. It's a
okay,
different button for each individual task,
okay.
which is very cool. It seems a little bit like touch and go as to whether certain things want to work, and only minute things. Because Switch has touchscreen capability.
Yeah.
There have been some times where I've used wires in the Switch version and touchscreen has worked, and other times where it's only the buttons that would work, touchscreen wouldn't respond. So I don't know
Is
what's
that
happening there.
is that by design or by?
I don't know if it would be because it's been the same map. So I don't. If it was
Uh,
by design, then that's very weird. Um, and I don't. I have had a look. It's not a setting. Like it's not a touchscreen thing. Otherwise, how would phone players play?
yeah, well,
um,
yeah.
but yeah, it's apart from that, I think it's just a little bug. But apart from that, it's really the only thing I can say. The Switch version feels really nice to play. And it doesn't feel awkward.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
So anyone looking to get Among Us and still want to use a Switch, I'd recommend it. It costs to play just like the PC version, but it's good, very good.
What else have I been doing? I've been playing Phasmophobia. I've been playing a lot of
Shocker.
Phasmophobia, which has been interesting. Yeah.
What level is it now?
100 and I don't know because I shout out to Anne. Anne is actually currently streaming at the moment.
Yes.
Anne is in the middle of her 24-hour stream Raiders skinathon, and she is just nailing it at the moment. She has hundreds of viewers. She's just. I joined her briefly for some Phasmophobia, and it's the first time I've ever played a game with Anne, and it was a lot of fun. I did try and feed her to the ghosts, but they weren't interested. Um,
334 viewers right now, apparently.
yeah, she's
That is
just.
wild.
It's just been absolutely crazy. But you know, so she's about 16 or 17 hours in at this point, so that's about a normal time for her. She has quite often gone between 12 and 18 hours. She's
Yes.
never done 24. That's a whole different ball game.
She's on good form, though.
Oh yeah, I think she'll be fine. Like I think she'll be absolutely exhausted by the end of it, but so yeah, I think I'm about 118, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So
Hashtag
that's
I'm not partner yet.
no, Anne's not a partner.
How is she not a partner yet?
Well, she probably knowing Anne, she's probably close, or if not over it, and she's just not actually bothered.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like, I'm not saying you have to. I'm just
No,
surprised. I thought she already was.
but yeah, so yeah, no, she's been kicking butt. So
Yes.
yeah, other than that, a bit of Pokemon, obviously, because I stream that and play that, and that's about it, really. I haven't played
No,
anything
no
else.
Pokemon news, which sucks. But
No. Oh no, there has been one little bit of Pokemon news, but not about games or anything. They did a direct today, I think it was, to show off the Super
oh,
Mario World. Oh, that's not Pokemon,
yeah.
that's Super Mario. That's Nintendo news. They showed off Mario World
I haven't
in.
watched that yet.
Apparently, it's smaller than most people thought, but it looks pretty cool. So,
Well, like, there's only so much you can do. Like, you know what I
well, you
mean?
know.
Um.
So that was
Oh,
yeah.
I got a Zarude code for Sword and Shield.
Oh yeah, I got yeah 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 yeah.
Because there was a whole thing where people was trying to get codes from places, and I ended up signing for this Irish GameStop newsletter, and then it was a while where I thought it took a while, and then I thought I'm just gonna give up. Like I'm probably not gonna get it, and then probably about a week later I got a code in my email, so I was like, all right.
Have
I
you
think I have
seen Have you seen Zarude run after you now?
no.
You've got to see what Zarude's animation is when it's chasing you down.
Oh no, I'm tempted
It's
to load it up right now.
it's horrific. It's like Phasmophobia. It's like one of those crawling
I'm
ghosts.
sorry.
It just looks horrific. But
I'm tempted to load it up. But I'm not going to. But I should have a second code coming because the UK has done one where you can get a code because originally game in the UK got into a bit of stick because they were like, oh yeah, come down to stores and you can get a code, and everyone's like, what?
yeah, I seen
um,
that. That was such a
and
stupid decision on their behalf.
I don't know why they did that, and it was like they eventually decided, oh well, I don't know if it was game or something else, but it's kind of like a rerun for the UK. Basically, for a lot of people that couldn't go out for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
they can sign up for something. It's through Pokemon's website, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Pokemon Training Club newsletter. If you're a UK account, you can sign up for newsletter before a certain date, and eventually you'll get a code for Zarude.
Yeah, they
So
Game Mania here did the same thing. You went on their website and signed up for a code, and then they'd send you one.
yeah,
Which yeah, they actually handled it quite well. But yeah, I did see the whole thing with the UK. I'm like,
I don't know why Game did that in the first place. I don't know why they
why?
thought
Why
people being
would
able
you
to
do
come to
that?
stores is a good idea. But
Um,
I should have that code eventually. We can have two Zarude, which would be cool.
oh, lovely. So we'll just flick through. I've got the news up. Where is it?
I was going to say I have no idea about what's being said now. So
The PS5 was the largest console launch month in US history.
really,
Yep.
oh wow, all right, congratulations, Sony.
We will address the Cyberpunk stuff afterwards because that's an interesting little saga.
Yeah, it's only a
Um,
little extra thing in it. So
What else we got here? Nothing particularly exciting there. Most of it's about Cyberpunk. No surprise there.
Shocker. Should we
Uh,
talk about it briefly now then, since it's
well,
on the
it's pretty much dominating the news.
So the first thing was Sony decided to pull Cyberpunk from its digital stores, and offer a refund to everyone who purchased it digitally.
Yeah, it's literally it's not even just like it's been delisted. It's
Yeah.
completely gone.
And then Microsoft recently followed suit, kind of. It's still available with digital purchase, but people can apply for a refund on their digital copy of the game should they not want to have it anymore. So I think Microsoft did it better because it gives people an option, personally. But I can understand why Sony did what they did.
Well, the interesting thing here that like this whole I mean, as we won't go into the controversies of the game and that.
No,
Let's
but
just
we've done that last week. If you
we did
want
that
to see
last
what we
week.
spoke about last week, then go onto YouTube or any place you can get
Yeah,
podcasts.
it was the last section of the AuraCast.
Yes, it's when
It
we spoke about the Game Awards.
it was. Here's the thing that my concern is that these games have to go through approval processes with these companies as well. It's not
Yeah,
just it doesn't the buck doesn't just stop with Project CD. What's it called? Project
CD Projekt Red.
CD Project Red. I always get their company name mixed up. It also has to go through like a verification process with with Sony with Microsoft, and it passed those, especially on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So
Yeah,
my question is, how stringent is their assessment process that these games manage to get through and be so buggy to the point that some people I even seen today, was it today or yesterday, that some people's cyberpunk games were bricking their consoles,
yeah, I've seen that.
and I'm like, holy crap. Like there's a difference between even having a heap of bugs to the point that it
Yeah,
actually just completely crashes your console.
and it does use the next gen consoles as well, like the Xbox Series.
Yeah.
Like, it's how. Um, there was something else that was in my brain, and I completely forgot about it. Um, oh yeah, like we're talking about like the process and everything. It makes you think of like how much of it is just automated for some of these like bigger retailers, like not retailers, companies.
It must be. And you know, and but in saying that, if even if it's an automated process, what is it actually assessing?
Exactly.
Because it kind of passed if it was
If it's
being
run on the console, I guess. But
yeah, like so I can see why Sony then sort of did a massive backflip and pulled it off the store, but it also didn't give people an option whether they wanted to still buy it. But I guess they didn't take it away from people who had already bought it though. It was
yeah,
strictly no one else can buy it until basically they fix the game, which I suppose if people buy it and then still have bug issues and that, they're going to go through this constant process of having to refund people. So I
yeah,
guess they're trying to put like a stopper effect in and try and stop people from buying it until they can resolve the issue.
yeah.
But both companies, both Microsoft and Sony, have basically gone. If you want your money back, you can have it.
But here's the thing with Sony that I thought of. Like, ignore the fact because there have been plenty of games. I'm sure there have been plenty of smaller games that have been just as buggy as this one, but they're sat in the store. Would they have pulled it were it not for the backlash that the community gave for the game, or would it just
I
been?
don't think so. I don't think so. I think that the really negative press on every level has made these
Yeah,
companies go, we need to take a stand and try and salvage our own reputation with this situation. I was reading something else today, that after the launch of Cyberpunk, the studio's stock dropped 27% or something. Like it was a huge drop.
I did see a
Um,
discussion. Sorry to cut you off. I did see a
yeah.
discussion on Twitter about like how they'd got such a level of respect and like just love from the fact that they made The Witcher 3 and such an amazing game. And it's just tarnished so many people's impressions and ideas of the company after this release, which is a shame because I've never played it. I don't know when I ever will play The Witcher 3 because I played The Witcher 2 once, really didn't enjoy it. That's a side point, but I can understand why people love it so much, and to have such a good reputation tarnished from such an awful release must suck for them. But they surely must have seen it coming.
Well, so
Surely,
the situation, here's my other concern, is that it's setting a dangerous precedent for other studios as well, that if they don't get something, finalized and that, they can just release a shoddy game,
yeah.
which is really not a good thing.
Well, hopefully the response that they got shows that that's not the case.
Well, really, here's the other thing, and I'm not saying that companies and studios shouldn't celebrate releases and that, but they prematurely jumped the gun, and they celebrated the fact that they made enough money on launch of the game to cover the costs of making the game, and it's like,
Yeah,
but you've not put out a functioning game. You've put out a
and a
game
lot
that
of people
functions
issue.
sometimes and not other times. So it's like,
Yeah,
and now you're having to issue refunds. Like, all right, Sony and Microsoft are the ones issuing the refunds, but obviously then they're going to have to get reimbursement or compensation from the game studio. So at
yeah.
the end of the day, are you actually now in profit, or in actual fact, it has cost you dearly because you've also lost stock value as well?
That's the issue because they also advertise it as like this amazing game. There's like all these graphics and these mechanics that work this certain way and that certain way, and even different trailers that were shown to it running at like smooth 60, 120 whatever, 4K whatever the fuck, and then it comes out and it's just not what they shown. Which, for those that aren't truly too aware, false advertising in a way is illegal.
Well, see, the issue with what was shown at any conference, any announcement or anything, was actually that none of that was on console. They deliberately avoided showing any of the footage from consoles. It was shown. It was PC.
But here's the thing: loads of PC players have had a lot of issues, so I don't know how they managed to get a version that
They
works so
they
well
they
to
must
show
have
off.
just been running it on their end. It must have ran smoothly. But I mean, it's easy enough for people to edit shit and that as well. That's the other thing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
it's so there is that false advertising situation, but I guess it's that whole hard to prove kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out in the next couple of weeks or something, that if people get so up in arms and angry about it, that it ends up being a class action situation, because it's
yeah.
so bad. Like, it's so bad. I can't remember a launch of a game being this bad, and then the studio handling it so badly.
Um, I remember the online for GTA 5 having a bit of a shoddy, rough start for like multiple months, and then they eventually managed to bring it back. But
Mhm.
nothing, like I say, nothing is this bad apart from No
I've
Man's Sky.
Yeah, but even then, No Man's Sky quickly resolved their issues.
Quickly is
Issued
a very new term because
No,
it's
no,
taken
but
them.
I'm talking in comparison to, like, they handled it better, if that makes sense.
Yes.
They admitted their mistakes, and whereas from what I've seen, the game studio has almost skated around a direct apology, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, oh, we'll fix these issues, but we put a game out as promised, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And it's like,
One of
you're
the main
actually
things
not trying to take any responsibility at this point at all, really.
one of the main things I saw in one of the apologies on their awful black text and yellow background, which they need to change because God, it hurts the eyes, is like it's a shame and it sucks that it doesn't work on a previous gen of consoles, like PS4 and Xbox One, as intended and everything. Like, they basically knew what state it was in, tried to fix it as much as possible, never released it, but they knew what state it was in,
Yeah.
and they were also saying, "Oh yeah, the consoles are just this." Like, it's not the fault of the consoles because the consoles are still getting games now. They're still a
But
lot
that's
of
the
people
thing.
still have.
If you're gonna generate, if you're gonna make a game that's gonna go across, and this is not the first time games have been released on dual generations. It's
Oh
happened
sure,
quite a lot.
yeah.
Is that you optimize it for those gens. You don't make one for the PS5 generation and then just slap it on a PS4 and hope that the PS4 doesn't explode.
Well, here's the thing, mate. When this game was first in development, it was meant to be PS4 one.
Yeah, exactly. This game has been in development so long that it crossed over into this gen.
Yeah, like the consoles were not announced before this game started being worked on. So they were working on a game that should have worked on those consoles anyway. So they have no excuse
No.
really. And you could say that, I mean, like publisher time restraints, they want to get a game out by a certain time, and the fact they're able to delay it all, probably, probably lucky they managed to get as many delays as they did. But like in the same vein, like if they don't have a game to release, I'm not a game developer. I don't know what it's like on that. I'm never going to claim that I know. But in the same breath, wouldn't they just try and push to keep holding off as much as possible?
Well, you would think so, but
apparently they've got like main big updates coming January and February, right? Like two big updates.
apparently they're going to release one in January and one in February. Yeah, I guess we'll
That,
see.
that's too far apart, in my opinion.
It is, especially like here's the thing. I mean, if your January update, and even then, that seems a little far away considering they
Yeah,
have known the issues from day one of launch. That should be their number one priority instead of
yeah,
continually promoting what they're selling and not dealing with the issues. Is the first update needs to be massive enough to fix most of the problems, with the second one dealing with minor issues. And
yes.
I the way they're making it sound, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like they're trying to
Divide the
squeeze
right.
out. I was going to say squeeze out as much time as they can to get these bugs and issues sorted out. Whereas, as much as it was a running joke about them delay, if that's the case, why didn't you just delay your game until February and be
Yeah,
done with it?
like you say, the joke was made, and people were getting frustrated about it, understandably so, because it got delayed like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, yeah.
But even then, when I'm waiting for a game, like I might put it in a different perspective. Like I make the joke all the time that I can't wait for Generation 4 remakes for Pokemon. I would be very happy to wait much longer. Would it be for the fact that they had to delay it to make sure the game works?
Yeah.
Because I'd rather have a game released and then for it to then work as intended. For it to be this Cyberpunk to be delayed 4 or 5 times, and then to be released in the state it was in. Again, we don't know the circumstances. We don't know if they were pushed by publishers or whatever. For a game to be delayed 4 or 5 times, maybe more, and then to be released in the state it was in, is ignoring everything behind the scenes. Just inexcusable. Like it just is.
Yeah, it's not a
I don't know how they did it.
no. I don't know how they've
I
managed
hope
to.
they come back from it because they had such a good reputation from The Witcher. I hope they come back from it because they make good games.
What
But
else
we'll
we
see.
got here? Donkey Kong Country 3 is coming to Nintendo Switch Online.
Yes, on the SNES collection, which
Yeah,
I'm gonna try out. I've never played much of Donkey Kong games. I
they're
never
good.
had an
They're
SNES.
classics. They're really good. They're
The,
challenging, but a lot
the
of the
only old
games.
school, the only old school Nintendo console I have is a 64, and I still stand by that being one of the best consoles. Obviously ignoring the Switch I have now, but the Nintendo 64 was amazing. And then the handheld, you had the Game Boy and DS and everything. But I think the only Donkey Kong I played was a spin-off called Donkey Kong, and it was a music game. But you had like
The drums, is that
the
them?
bongo one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep. I know the
and that
one.
was amazing.
Um, Other than that, there's not been a really lot. I guess because most of it had been announced at Game Awards and that, there's not
Yeah,
been an awful lot. Vin Diesel is actually, as much as we spoke about him being in Ark, he's actually one of the Ark 2 developers. He's involved in the development process of the
really.
game. Yep.
Vin Diesel. I
He's
didn't expect
he's
Vin Diesel to add game developer to his CV.
he's president of Creative Convergence is what his title is. He's actually involved in the production of this game.
Oh my god.
Because he's it's not just something that he has played hundreds and hundreds of hours of Ark Survive Evolve was it
Ark Survival Evolved, yeah.
yeah, so like there you go, you never know what people do behind the scenes, you just
That
don't know.
okay, that something like that is amazing to see because you think of a lot of people think of celebrities like these untouchable, non-human people like type things,
Hmm.
but like just even people like that can just sit down and enjoy a game every now and then, and to know like I didn't know about this stuff just now, to know that he had such a lovely original arc, and then it must be amazing for him to be able to work on this, and I can't even begin to imagine how excited and happy he is.
The
That's like me being asked to work on the next Pokemon game.
The closed alpha for Back for Blood is out at the moment.
Yes, and I can't play that right now, but it looks really good. I can't wait that
Um,
game.
a League of Legends MMO is under
Oh yes, I
development.
want to talk about that. I saw a tweet from someone who worked at Riot Games saying that they were basically hiring. So there's a new game coming. Brackets. You could say it's massive, hinting at massively one player online. And someone replied to him saying, "Is it going to be a League MMO?" And he was like, "Yes, it is." And I think it was confirmed from that point onwards because he basically just said out loud on Twitter, "It's going to be a League MMO." I am so excited for this. I love the League universe. I'm not really too involved with it, but I love the characters and just love the art style. I love the animation. It's all amazing. And Riot can make very good games. Valorant is a good example. I know Valorant's
Yes.
not everyone kind of thing, but Valorant's a very fun game.
Yeah.
Pretty well polished as well.
Yep.
Ignore the bugs that when it came out, but pretty well polished. I have faith.
Right.
I, I really am looking forward. Isn't there a League fighting game being made as well?
You're asking the wrong person. I haven't seen any
That was,
news of it, but yeah.
that was teased as an idea that they're working on around the same time as Project A or something. And I think this League fighting game was announced Project L. There have been like a few clips of them working on it and like a few scenes and like fight scenes and stuff. It's like a normal, typical fighting game with League of Legends characters, and I can't wait. Riot's kind of kicking ass, I'll be honest. On the low, they've released League of Legends, the new version, which on PC and phones and all that.
Yeah.
They're working on Valorant, which I'm sure they're making a shit ton of money from.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, they've got this MMO they're working on. They've got the fighting game they're working on. They've just got so much going for them now, and yeah, I'm excited. Genuinely excited.
Talking about other Destiny content, I was talking about Destiny earlier on that I've
Yes.
been playing. There was an interview. I can't remember what website it was on, but it was an interview with one of the producers or whatever of Destiny 2. And so they've done a whole heap of announcing over the last couple of weeks about what's coming up, sort of next year and that. And one thing that I know a lot of people are very excited about is the return of the Vault of Glass. Now, the Vault of Glass is the first raid that ever came out for Destiny. It was on Destiny 1 and is still considered one of the pinnacle moments of the Destiny franchise.
Mm-hmm.
People were wondering if it was going to be just a straight re-release, not a port, but nothing changed. And it was interesting for them they were saying that basically they can't do that simply because back then there wasn't as many subclasses and things, there wasn't as many weapons, there wasn't as many different aspects to how the game works, and so
Yeah,
it would just things would get annihilated and it wouldn't be any fun. So if they're doing a remake of it, it will still basically feel like the Vault of Glass, but they're doing a complete like rebuild of it.
like a
And
revamp.
yeah, which I'm super excited about because I guess that means that Venus will be coming back as a location, and lots of people liked the Venus location from Destiny 1.
Yeah.
But the most exciting thing is they're also bringing the weapons back, and I know that Silent's very excited for the Vex Mythoclast to return, and I am going to get my favorite hand cannon back from Destiny 1, and that is Fatebringer. And they basically said that all of these guns and that are going to play basically the same as they did in Destiny 1.
Wow.
So that they're still identifiable as what made them so popular back then. But it'd be interesting to see what they do in regards to whether you're going to add some new raid weapons, or are they going to be different enemies in there. So yeah, it's very exciting. And I think that's being launched next season. So we're about halfway through the current season, so it's going to be very
Oh,
interesting to
okay.
see.
So that'll
Um,
be like going into a couple of months of next year.
yeah, I think around March, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I'm
really
very excited for that. Hopefully, the Vault of Glass re-release will coincide with crossplay,
cool. Oh, that could be very cool. That could be like
because
a very like celebratory type thing.
absolutely, I'd love to be able to play Vault of
Oh,
Glass with people.
they could make such an event out of that.
Yeah, because Vault of
Maybe they could
Glass.
do like a real time event type thing.
Well, it could. They could. I mean, they always sort of. They've been doing a lot of that lately. In the like at the end of the season or start of a season, they do like an event in the town or whatever that's actually happening in real time, and then it sort of celebrates the end of that season or the start of the next season or the start of the next big
Yeah,
chapter. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that. But yeah, that interview came out this week. I'm like, oh, because we were all wondering, what they were going to do with Volta Glass. We knew it was coming back, but we didn't really know what was going to happen with it. And then on top of that, it was like, all right, so are they actually going to bring all the weapons back that we got back then? So
yeah.
yeah, Fatebringer's got a perk on it that if you hit headshots with it, it causes like an explosion, and so you get like shrapnel damage to surrounding enemies. It's
Oh
called
God,
it's called Firefly. Is it Firefly? Yeah, Firefly.
I reckon that would
Um,
be great in Crucible.
it's a fantastic weapon. I used to use that, and one day I hope they bring this back. It's not in Destiny 2. My favorite exotic in Destiny 1 was Invective. It was a shotgun that belonged to Ikora Ray, who's the Warlock
Yeah.
Vanguard. And it's an incredible shotgun. But yeah, so that was a bit of news that sort of has come out in an interview that they're rebuilding the Vault of Glass as opposed to just being like a port,
Yeah.
which is cool. But there's so much content coming out next year for that game.
I'm excited to see it. I do hope they do an event for it. I think they've got a great opportunity to do that. And for them not to, would be missing out for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to say. I mean, I wouldn't surprise me if they do another world's first thing like they do with every raid and that. But it'd be interesting to see if they do something a bit more special for it because it's such a celebrated like a
Yeah.
thing from the past, if that makes sense. So yeah, but no.
Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, but other than that, there's not, like I said, there's not been an awful lot this week,
I have
really.
found something.
Oh yes.
There was a thing that went around on Twitter yesterday or the day before, and the company Tencent, who currently is working on Pokemon Unite,
Yep.
it has gone around because Tencent Japan has advertised job positions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen this. If I explain it, you might remember what this is. They're recruiting for 19 Pokemon-related jobs right now. And I've got a tweet here. The most interesting of which is for a Pokemon consultant. Now, the only reason I bring this up is because the requirements for the job are hilarious. If you don't know what I'm talking about now, Beaz, you're in for a treat. So it's actual Pokemon job with Tencent, which people's opinions of Tencent put those to the side.
It varies from person to person.
Yeah.
Yep.
The requirements for this Pokemon consultant role in Tencent Japan is as follows. I'm not making this up. Clear all Pokemon games with 900 hours plus. No history of Pokemon. Have masterable ranking in Pokemon Ranked. And have watched 500 plus episodes of anime. I'm not making that up.
And that's a qualification.
Yeah. that's a requirement for this job. I don't know what Pokemon consultant means or what the role entails, but that's a requirement.
Hang on. Okay. So those. Okay, go start again. What was the first? All right, start with the first one.
So the first one, clear all Pokemon games with 900 hours plus playtime. I don't know how you can prove that.
Well, not on previous gens, I would assume, but you can on the current gen. I mean,
yes.
I've clocked up over 900 hours on Sword and Shield and Let's Go.
Yeah. Know the history of Pokemon. So I assume they're going to ask like.
Oh, is that what you said? Okay, I missed a word when you spoke the first time because I thought you said no history of Pokemon. I'm like, how the frick do you play 900 hours of the game and not have any history with it?
No, you got to know the history of Pokemon. It's written here as no history of Pokemon, but no K and O W.
Yeah.
I assume that's going to be like idea designs. The first Pokemon ever designed. So say how many Pokemon are in different generations, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Have masterable ranking in Pokemon.
Well, so far I was going all right, but then I get to masterable ranking, like, well, I'm screwed. I can't do that.
And the last one is watched 500 plus episodes of anime.
Oh,
now,
absolutely.
I assume they mean Pokemon anime, but hilarious if it just means in general.
I mean, I've absolutely watched 500 hours plus without even watching the most
Not
recent
hours,
stuff.
episodes.
Oh, episodes. Oh, even then. I would have had to have. I've watched the first 10 seasons over and over and over again without even thinking about it. I'm sure I've seen that.
I can add to it because in this last month and a half or so, I've been the entirety of My Hero Academia. So
It's just so that's such a bizarre job
Yeah,
position.
I don't know what it entails. Like,
But
there's no information.
what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there and when they're designing the game, they're gonna go, so what do you think of this? Well, back in 1982, which is not when it came out, but like it's like what? I don't understand what the benefit of that is. When wouldn't they have consultancy and people from Pokemon Company?
Well, that's the thing. This is with Tencent, not Pokemon Company.
Then why wouldn't they have gotten some sort of collaboration with Pokemon Company and got someone from over there and been in
I
contact with
thought it would have
them?
been an internal job, wouldn't it? But
Well, that's what you would think. You'd think it would be like
yeah,
within the relationship between the two companies, not advertised out in public. Because some randoms probably put an application in going, hey, guess what? I've never left my bedroom and I've played Pokemon for 50
well,
billion
here's the
years.
thing. Like, even though as funny as that is, it gives people like that an opportunity for this role. Like, it's not. I'm amazed at this. If I was in Japan, right, I would fully go for this.
But it's even, here's the other thing. This is, okay, not to disparage America. I'd expect that job description from Nintendo America or something. I wouldn't expect this from Japan.
Yeah,
Like the level of professionalism that comes from Japan. This doesn't sound like a professional job listing. This sounds like a hobby.
because it's not a professional job listing. It's Tencent.
like
They look
it
at this
just
stealing
doesn't.
assets.
It just doesn't. It really doesn't click with me that. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But here's how.
Damn, I just missed out. If I got that Master Ball ranking, I could have had a job with Tencent. I could have just been sitting there
Oh,
going, that Pikachu's eyes are 0.5 millimeters too far apart.
did you know
Do it
that
again.
Pikachu's tail is in the shape of a heart? I could go for this. I don't know how much more I can get,
It's
but
so bizarre. Oh,
I love it so much. Oh, you're not
wow.
seen this
I
yet?
didn't see that. No, when you said that, I'm like, all right. What a job description. I mean, all
Oh, I
right.
love Japan.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not the worst job description to go completely off, and Danny's probably cringing, but that's okay. I don't need to mention the company, but the people who Danny works for, right? They
Mhm.
have a person who is appointed as their chief happiness officer.
Fuck off.
No, I've met this person because they delivered his laptop so he could work from home.
I could have
He
been that in your office.
exists. This job, this person gets paid and gets paid well to be the chief happiness officer. Oh, wait, don't. This is our Cho. Cho. It's our Cho. I want to be a
Oh my
Cho.
god, Chief Happiness Officer.
Chief
I can't
happiness
believe that.
officer, and their responsibility within the company basically is to make sure that all the employees are happy and do their best to make sure that they're all happy with everything they're doing at work. They're basically that's their job. So it's kind of
It's like
like
Chancellor.
it's kind of like the way I would look at it from an outsider looking in. It's kind of like if you took the like um HR, like the human resources role, and then took like a psychologist or a counselor and like smushed the two roles together to make someone who oversees that, make sure the employees are happy with their work. But yeah, what a title.
I love Reese's comment. If I were CHO on arcade.
Like it was like, so no, as much as that the whole Pokemon consultant is a weird thing, it's not the weird, it's weird, but it's like I've literally seen in my day-to-day life that there's someone out there who's getting paid as a chief happiness officer.
That is amazing.
So, what a title.
I just remembered a tweet that I saw within the last 24 hours. Going back to Pokemon very quickly.
Yeah.
There's an account I follow that, I'll shout him out. It's an account called Dr. Lava's Lost Pokemon. It's
Oh yeah.
full of a lot of facts. At Dr. Lava YT on Twitter. They put up a part of an interview with Masuda, who Masuda well known for designing and helping with Pokemon, and he was the director for Let's Go,
Yep.
Pikachu and Eevee. And in part of an interview, everyone's asked and wondered whether or not, I'm going to ask you first actually, would you class Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee as main series games or spin-offs? And this goes to the chat as well if you're interested.
That's a tricky one. Spin-off.
You think it was a spin-off?
Okay, if I was considering this as my future role as a Pokemon
Consultant.
consultant, no, I would look at it as a spin-off, but my assumption is that they were treating it like a mainline game.
Yeah. So I'm gonna read the tweet, and then I'm gonna read the interview. The tweet from Dr. Lava it goes as follows: Mainline or spin-offs? When Let's Go Pikachu, fans didn't know if they should be considered core series Pokemon games or spin-offs. The game's director Junichi Masuda eventually clarified, stating definitively that they are in fact mainline Pokemon games, which is a bit of a shock.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised they're considering them mainline, but I'm pretty sure most of the fan base, for the most part, don't consider them in the mainline thing.
The quote goes, these games aren't spin-offs. These are core Pokemon titles. As for whether we would make other games that could connect to Pokemon Go, that would depend on how the games are received. I don't know when this interview was done, but that means there's every chance. I mean, we've joked about it, and it's not as bad a thing as I make it out to be. I just over exaggerate because it's hilarious. But there's every chance we could see a Generation 2 Let's Go game. Which thoughts, opinions?
I
If
mean,
we break our brains,
for me, it doesn't bother me because I like Pokemon Crystal, for example. But then my
yeah,
mindset is, how are they going to approach that in the same way they did with the Kanto, or like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Because in the original, because it basically, okay, the concept behind Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was that it was based on Red, Yellow, and Blue, but
yes,
it also had elements that tied in with obviously Pokemon Let's Go. So if they're going down that same Pokemon Go, not Pokemon Let's Go,
yeah.
Pokemon Go, if they go down that same path and it's going to be based on Gold, Silver, and Crystal, then you revisit Kanto in those games. So it's kind of like,
Oh, good point. Yeah, unless they just specifically limited to
but then people are going to be so angry because then it's
yeah,
not honoring the original, because there is differences in what you see in Kanto in the first gen and in what you see in the second gen, but then it
yeah,
would be too much similarity, if you know what I mean. Because if you
mhm,
look back at those games back in the original gens, is that there was such a jump with Gen 2 in graphics, in style, in the way it was done, that people were like, oh, we get to go back to Kanto and it's going to look so much more pretty in that. Let's look at what you would at Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. All right, sure that the graphics might be a little bit better, but they're not going to be different enough to make it feel any different. So then you'd just be going back to Kanto.
Well, here's a couple of things that was in my mind. For starters, if it was the next Let's Go game, like there's always going to be people going to piss off whether or not you include Kanto, whether or not the Let's Go game is released in general. Because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying I'm excited for a Let's Go Johto if that were to happen. Um, the second point being in the original Gen 2 games, purely down to cartridge limitations, the detailing in Kanto in the Gen 2 games was very little, and it was quite downscaled.
Yeah.
So how would they approach that if they were to include Kanto in a Let's Go game for Gen 2? How would they approach it? Would it just be the same as it was in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, or would they put differences in? Because Gold Silver Crystal takes place, if I'm correctly timeline wise, a little bit ahead after the events of Red and Blue.
Correct, yes.
That's
It's
why Kanto.
3 years?
To answer your question, Danny, Gen 4 remakes easy.
I was going to say,
Like,
what even kind of question is that?
that's a coin toss, and both sides of coins are heads. Like,
I was going to say, literally, he's made it abundantly clear that, like, I remember bringing this whole Let's Go Johto thing to a conversation in the AuraCast, like, months ago, and
yeah,
the horror on Cinder's face was like, oh, no.
that's in
Here's
the
an
Pokemon Direct.
interesting thing for you, though. Let me just put this horrific image in your head. I'm good at this. I love doing this to Cinder.
Oh, great, fantastic. Let's go.
What would you do if they said, all right, we're doing Gen 4 remakes, but they're in the Let's Go style?
I mean, look, right. Here's the thing. I would still play.
I think I've broken Matthias.
Look, I know that Matthias is also another Gen 4. So, yeah. Me personally, I still would play a Gen 2 Let's Go game. I'm not completely against the idea. I just think it's a bit either too soon or I don't know how they're going to do it well. No.
But I mean, I mean, in saying that, let's be realistic here. It's not impossible because look how big Sword and Shield is with the DLC.
Yes.
Your mic is ringing.
Ringing.
Yeah, when you talk, it goes. "Zzz."
I don't know why.
It's your week for technical difficulties. I'm assuming this is coming through on stream.
Yes, it is.
I don't know what's causing it.
Have you knocked a cable?
Not to my knowledge. Is it bad?
It's like a cricket buzzing over the top of you.
Right. I don't know which one the mic is, so I could try and unplug things, but it could mess with the camera as well. So I don't know.
There was a cricket in my room. It's just preparing itself for one of Cinder's bad jokes for the crickets in the room. That's how boring Cinder is. The crickets are the boss.
Danny, rude.
Is it the Discord call?
I don't know.
Leave the Discord call and come back. You'll have
Will
to.
that not break things?
No.
Okay, cool. Back in a sec.
Now we can talk shit about him.
Hello.
Oh boy, can he? Yeah, it's fixed it. Yep.
Oh, has it fixed it?
Yeah. So it's a Discord issue. It's not you.
Fantastic.
Except
cool.
I said we can't see you. We can see a really tiny picture of Riley's profile.
Okay, that's on your side, not mine, because the camera's loading. No, it's loaded.
Oh. Well then, hang on. Let's have a look.
Just prioritize Discord and it'll be fine.
Hang on. Oh no, there you
Live
are. There you are.
issues.
There you are. Oh, now you're frozen. Let
Am
it go. Let it go.
Oh man, everything works.
Oh, what did I just open?
I know what is open.
Oh, what's it? See, we were going so well, and then we had.
Oh no, it looks like it's working now.
Oh no! Oh, go away, OBS. Why are you trying to open?
I hope you enjoy listening to this if you're listening to just the audio version.
Oh, well, if you've been listening to the audio version for the last couple of months, you would know that there's always technical problems. There we go. All right, everything's working. Oh my god, everything's working. There we go. We're good.
Anyway.
So yeah, no, it was just a thought. Like I hadn't actually thought of this until you were talking about. Until Danny asked that question. I'm like, what would you do if they just like took both ideas and went? I'm like,
yeah. Here's the thing. Like, I would play a Generation 2 Let's Go game. If that was the way they wanted to do it, I still would play it because I love Sinnoh. I love the whole world of Gen 4. I love the Pokemon. I love the characters. I love the legendaries. I love the story. I just love the world in general. I love the towns. I love the cities. It's great. I'd be worried because from my point of view, because I hold Gen 4 so highly, it's terrifying to think that it could be done a different way, but it could kind of like it won't change my thoughts on the original Gen 4 games.
Yeah.
But I don't want to impact my thoughts of Gen 4 and its remakes entirely. Because I don't know, it's such a weird thing. Like when the Gen 3 remakes came out alongside X and Y, I say alongside, it was a bit later. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were amazing remakes.
Yeah, they were well done.
I'd say that they were more enjoyable than the originals.
I agree. Yes.
And that's probably just because of the features of Gen 6 and everything, more than likely. Gen 8, what we have right now, like feature wise, hardware wise, like technically wise, and graphics as well. Look, the games look amazing compared to what they used to be. And side note, to all the people that say the games look awful, you're comparing it to hyper realistic graphic games. Shut up.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think the other thing that really did a disservice to people really starting to overly assess what Sword and Shield looked like is when they showed the teaser stuff for Pokemon Snap.
Yes.
Because that looks super like high res graphically speaking, and it's like, well, no, that's a different game again, and it's not got all the mechanics that the Sword and Shield games have got. It's literally the whole point is you're taking pretty photos, basically. So it's like, you know, you want it to look pretty. You want them to put the world to make it look nice. You know, that's
But Sword and Shield does look pretty, at least I think, and it just has like such an opportunity for a Gen 4 game to look even better than it did and to play potentially better. Like, I, it could
But
be
that's going to
better
be
than the
your
original
biggest
Platinum.
downfall, is that I think you're going to set the bar too high in your own head.
I more than likely am, and I don't think I'm going to be able to change that because I love Gen. It'll be the same when Gen 5 remakes, if they happen. Like, I love Gen 5 a lot, and I'm naturally going to have that bar high. I can say that I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. Impossible for me. Of course, I'm going to be biased,
Yeah.
but I think that's a good thing because I think they should be held accountable to try and keep a game, especially in the series, long-running series, keep trying to make them as good as possible, like continuously.
Yeah.
They're going to have their down games, Gen 6, X, and Y, but like,
That's still a rumor. That is still a rumor. That one has lingered on. That
what?
Gen 6 is potentially going to appear somehow in the Switch gens. Whether
But
it's an addition somehow to the current games, whether it's a re-release or a
but
remaster to go
why?
on.
Because it was just in the last gen of Nintendo consoles. Granted, the 3DS has not long been discontinued, right?
Yeah, but also look at it from the perspective of look how many Wii U games have come to the Switch now.
I still want Virtual Console on Switch as regards like the old Pokemon games. I think that'd be great.
I think you'll get
Um,
that. I think you'll get a lot of that.
but I think a remake of Gen 6 is way too early. I want to remake Gen 5, but that's way too early in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just
No,
saying what I've seen. You know, I mean,
yeah,
I've also seen mock-ups of Let's Go Johto. So you know, whether or not it's real or not, or leaked stuff, you don't know.
you never know. It's the internet. Like you never know what's real and what's fake. But yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity for a Gen 4 remake to look amazing. Same. I will say the same for a Let's Go Johto as well. I think they know what worked with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and they know what didn't.
Yeah.
I think they can expand on that and make a Let's Go Gen 2 game. Or if, like you say, if they wanted to make a Gen 4 remake, a Let's Go kind of game, they know what worked and what didn't. Hopefully, they go with that and make it an even better game than what Pikachu and Eevee were.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if it was a Let's Go style game, would I be a little bit disappointed? Yes, but I'd still play it and have high hopes
Hmm.
because it's a constantly evolving series. Red and Blue, iconic games. Technically speaking, like from a technical standpoint and how it works, they're so shit.
Oh, they don't. Okay, in some ways they hold up, and in a lot of ways they don't.
Yes,
Difficulty wise, still some of the most difficult games out of the
especially
entire
Pokemon Yellow.
series. Oh yeah, well, I mean, here's the problem with Pokemon Yellow is that you're starting with a Pikachu, and pretty much every Pokemon that spawns between the start and Pewter City does not do anything against Brock. So you're
Yeah,
literally having to go into Brock, and most people have the same problem. You go into Brock, hoping that Pikachu learns an electric move, which is still not great, but does something, and just shock the hell out of it until it finally dies. And
but here's
hope,
the thing: it doesn't because they're ground types.
yeah,
So you either stuck tackling over and over again, or try and find something else.
like it's just, and then so then you go to, then you're alright after that. It's not so bad. It's literally that first bit is an absolute grind.
So yeah, that's my point. I've learned from games prior to know what works and what doesn't. I think it has a negative effect. I think that's why the later games are so handholdy,
Yeah,
which is different opinions depending on who you ask. Um, Sun Shield has it, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be, which I'm happy about. It's just a lot of speaking,
oh god, yeah.
and I hope that a Gen 4 remake or a Gen 2 Let's Go game or a mix of the two learns from everything they've done, what works, what doesn't, and just makes it as best as possible. If it's a Let's Go Gen 4 game, I'll still play it. I'm still gonna have
Yeah.
fun with it. But I have hopes. I have hopes regardless of what they do. I'm still gonna play Let's Go Johto. I will be sad about it, but I'll still play it. And I'll probably still have a lot of fun with it. I'll be honest, I'm also waiting for Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Unite. So
Pokemon Snap is something that I'm super excited about.
I can't wait.
I'm curious to see what, because they haven't really shown. They've sort of shown it, but haven't shown a lot. And I was like, I think we're still going to be on rails for that. I would love for it to be a bit more free roaming, but I don't think we're
Mm,
going to get that.
I don't think it's a bad thing if it's on rails because it's kind of like harkening to why Pokemon Snap was so memorable.
Mm.
Um, So I don't think it'll be a bad thing if it was like that. I think I am in the same boat as you in the sense of it gave a bit more freedom. Like say, for example, a level and you roam around like freely trying to
If
get
there
to
was a
certain
mix of
areas.
it, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, but if it was just rail, I'm not going to complain
No.
because that's what made Pokemon Snap so iconic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Pokemon Unite, I'm the only one that's excited for it. But
I'm curious. I mean, the main reason I'm not excited for it is simply because that's not usually my style of game, but I'll give it a
yeah,
shot because it's Pokemon.
I think it has a chance of introducing a lot of people to the MOBA kind of game. What I'm worried about is for these people that are new to MOBAs being introduced to the MOBA community.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know it's going to be a Pokemon game, but it's
Oh,
still a
there's
MOBA.
still going to be the toxicity there. I
Yes.
mean, even in the Pokemon community,
I
there's a
mean, yeah,
level of
true.
toxicity. So
But combined Pokemon and MOBA, that community is going to be
it's
toxic as fuck.
it's going to be very yeah. I'd be very surprised if it's not toxic.
I'm worried for new MOBA players that come to Unite because of that, and I think that'll
Yeah.
scare a lot of people off. But excited about any MOBA, and there's people that stick around with it. Hi, and like it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
I'm aware of who's making it, but it has a lot of potential. And the little bit that was shown looked good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Same Pokemon Snap. We haven't got much since the Pokemon Direct, but
No.
it looks good.
It's coming out next year. They haven't actually clarified when though yet.
I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. Anyway, that was a long ass Pokemon ramble. I apologize.
No. I mean, that's that happens.
That it's just stuff that just came up. Like it happens. Apart from that, is there anything else? Oh, I mean, we have the
I've
games
got
that were
one.
shown.
I've got one thing that we can lead into that kind of wraps everything up for the podcast and sort of heading into next year, I guess.
Oh, go for it then.
Is that what there's so much that's been announced and so many things that are going to be happening next year and blah blah blah. What are some of the things that you're most hoping? And if you say Gen 4, we know Gen 4. Breathe.
I'm not going to mention it because
aside from Gen 4,
Mm.
is there something that you, or are there things that you're looking forward to next year that you can't wait for?
Are we limiting it to just games or?
Oh, politics. No.
I'm going to be running for UK Prime Minister in 2024.
Oh, you're going against Boris. Oh, lovely.
No. Well, okay. So it's not. It's obvious that apart from AuraCast, I'm very barren from Twitch. I have been since November, and I haven't streamed for a long time. I'm going to be coming back to streaming in January. There are plans that I want to get moving forward in my own personal life that I'm excited to get going for next year. And it has the potential of just everything just all combined together has the potential of me being able to make more of what I do and just being able to make the progress of let's face it, 2020 has been a shit year for a lot of people. It's had ups and downs for everyone, but it also brings a new, in my opinion, a new mindset as to how to approach the next year because people have had to live differently this year. That's fact. I have, Beaz has, everyone listening has. But I am also interested in seeing how the next year will develop me as a person as well because I have known people that have end up just changing and being different to what I thought they were because of everything that's happened this year. And I think it brings out the true versions of people. And I hope that the true version of me shows that I am excited for next year. I'm excited for streaming stuff. I want to get YouTube stuff going again. I have ideas that I want to put forward. Like there's people I want to work with, types of content I want to do, live stuff, YouTube stuff, stuff that's released on stuff that's released I want to be able to interact with it as it's released, like when it comes to consoles or game releases, that kind of thing. And I want to be able to show, if anything, just show to myself that I'm able to go with the year as it goes and not keep myself behind type of thing.
Yeah.
2020 has brought a lot of blessings, of course. bloody hell, fucking mush for about the next 10 seconds. I sleeping at the moment, but I know that I wouldn't be the man I
Oh,
am
that's why
now.
the crickets were gonna.
It was him. But I wouldn't be the man I am now were it not for the fact that Riley, like that's just fact. And he's helped me with so much, just like with streaming stuff and just in personal as well. And just like working with UBs as well, everyone I've worked with in the past, it's allowed me to realize that I am able to push forward and do what I want to do and do it to the best of my ability. Ability that asked me a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have said I had. So, but that's what Twitch is. Twitch just brings up so many opportunities, so many chances of being able to find out who you really are. And I'm excited to be able to bring that back to people that believe, pretty much, in 2021, people that watch, people that support, type of thing. And I'm excited for a push. So there's one thing I'm excited for in next year. It's seeing where I go, not just as a channel, but as a person. And Gen 4 remakes.
Oh my god! I knew you couldn't end. I knew you couldn't end that without saying something about Gen 4. All right.
But I'm going to reflect the question to you before we end. You know the question. Things you. What's the thing you excited for next year?
Okay. Well, look. Before I get on to next year, let me just address this year. Um, as Lucas said, 2020 has challenged everybody.
Yeah.
You would be living in a bubble if you said otherwise. Um, I've had trials and tribulations throughout the year. I've fought for a visa for pretty much the entire year. Danny and I have had to deal with that, and thank God it finally happened.
Congratulations.
After so long of fighting that, gained a job and lost a job because of COVID. And uh, didn't get to go home to visit like I had planned back in April because the pandemic suddenly struck and everything went to hell. But then there are the positive sides to things. This year was a year of a lot of things that actually have gone in my favor that I actually didn't expect them to. For example, Aura Guardians. I've had such a personal attachment to this team ever since I started streaming 2.5 years ago, and to be in the position now of leading this team and owning the team and developing the team has been an opportunity that has been stressful at times. I'm not going to deny that. But overall, we've created a very strong, well oiled group of what I could consider friends. We all talk to each other and chat and everything. It's not just about streaming, which is so very important to me. And so that's been a huge success, personal success. The second half of this year has been challenging for AG, as the pandemic's gotten a lot more intense. A number of our management and even team members have had to deal with change of jobs, increase in workload, loss of jobs, etc. We've seen people leave the team, we've seen people join the team, and that comes with growth. That comes with change, and
Yeah.
so that's that side of things. And I need to say thank you to everyone on the team, both past and present. It's been an interesting year to deal with, but as a team we've managed to keep it together. I couldn't do what I do without people like Charming and Silent. I couldn't do what I do without Riley. We're both on a
Same here.
personal streaming level and an Aura Guardians level. Cinder obviously, when he has been on the AuraCast and doing that stuff. And anyone else who's joined the team, it's been wonderful. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I claim to be a mess, and everyone knows that. Uh, it's part of the charm. But yeah, it's been a challenging year for everyone, and so hopefully 2021. I need to reiterate something I say a lot even in my stream, is that don't expect January the 1st everything to be sunshine and roses, but
It
let's
won't.
hope that 2021 is actually a shift in a positive direction.
Yeah.
On a personal level, I couldn't be where I am without Danny, and he has been my rock through pretty much the ups and downs of everything. Yes, hi.
Hi.
He's such a dork. Um, and so and pedal as well. But so next year we're going to push this team in a different direction, in that it's going to be a more uniting force. We're going to try and do some more collab stuff. I also want to just do a bit of a shout out to Juju. It's been a very positive relationship with them. And that's something I want to develop more in 2021 and actually put some more effort into. That's a conversation I'll be having with them at some stage. So that there's that. The, my personal growth in regards to streaming, especially this last 6 months, has been just out of this world. It's gone
Yeah.
from small growth to almost scary growth in a lot of ways, but I guess that comes with actually putting the effort in and having the time to do it as well.
Yeah.
um so that's something that I'm going to be focusing on in 2021. Look, I've been very remiss of saying this. It's been brought up many times, even very early on, and I appreciate the support and the things that people have said to me in that. I would be lying if I said anything else. I do have a very ambitious goal in 2021, and that's Twitch partnership. It's something that I've wanted. I think potentially. I mean, I don't look at myself that highly, if that makes sense, but it's something that I want to try and push towards. If it doesn't happen, so be it. I still enjoy what I do, but it's something that is a massive goal for me at the end of the day. It's not the end of the journey as well. It's just another big step.
Yeah. Like a milestone.
And I think it's also that level of recognition. I've always, as much as I worked my butt off to get to where I am with Aura Guardians and that, there's also that side of me that goes, having a stream team, an official stream team, is usually reserved for partners, and circumstance meant that I was able to take that opportunity. Some would call that unfair, but I guess it's also, from the other perspective, it's a move that I made on a personal level. I seen an opportunity and I took it. So yeah, that's something definitely I want to sort of work towards next year. And I've seen a lot of people who I know very closely achieve that this year, so it kind of fires me up even more so to sort of focus on it next year. Other than that, nothing really. Like, I just want to play games and have fun and be stupid. Is
That's
my
what it comes down to. That's the same thing I'm going to continue to be doing.
as much as I have sort of turned this into a full-time thing at the moment, it still hasn't changed me who I am. I'm still an idiot, and that's not going to change. So yeah.
It's 2021 is going to be an interesting year. We don't know what's going to happen, but I know that what has happened is both of us have had plenty of opportunities for different reasons. When in 2020 we streamed together, I'm not streaming 2020, Danny. I was streaming in 2021. But yeah,
Sorry,
like
has 2020, you've missed the boat. The boat
yeah.
sailed. It's gone.
But yeah, we both had plenty of opportunities, sponsorships or otherwise, like stream teams. Like without Beast's invitation, I wouldn't be on this stream right now. So like, there's so many people, like friends that I've met along the way, people I'm still friends with now. Like, I've got the original 3 people that have spoke to in the first few days of me streaming back in September 2018. That being Afro, Super Wild, and Bomber Blue Shirt. Just drop names. Like, I've got Riley who supports me on a regular basis. I've got Aura Guardians. Got side shout out Pokehaven, who's now officially a stream team. Wait.
And so
Shout out
that's the
boys.
one. That's the one thing that I want to point out too, is that I have no, and as the stream team owner and leader, I have no issue with working with other communities. I know
Yeah,
some places are just so dead against it, and I just don't get that. If there's an opportunity to work in a collaborative way or exchange ideas or or highlight what others are doing, I don't see that as a negative. I see that as a very positive and a
yeah.
very healthy growth thing. And it's like even when people join the team and that, I ask them, can they tick stats? And the main reason is to open up opportunities for us. It's not that I'm monitoring whether you're streaming 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 12 hours, 2 hours, not streamed for 6 decades. It makes no difference to me. It's more so for
Yeah.
opportunities. And I don't need to know what you're doing specifically, but it's always interesting, and just to pull the curtain back behind sort of the stream team side of things, is that I once a month put up the stats for how much we have streamed and how many followers we got as a team and all this stuff, just to
I was going to
see.
mention that. Yeah.
And some of the just insanity of like how much minutes have been watched by the viewers and how many followers we've gained as a team and just all these crazy figures. It's like, you know it's insane to see.
It's a thing to celebrate. Like everyone's working towards their own goal for their own reasons, in their own way. And like I have, talking on a very personal like note, like as regards my Twitch stuff, I'm fully aware that I, alongside a lot of other people on Twitch in general,
Mm.
have had a very slow but very joyful growth. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the type of person. I know people out there that are, and that's a different thing entirely. But everyone does it for their own reasons. I'm not the type of person to, in the nicest way possible, care much about how many people watch,
Yeah.
because it just has been and always will be just a fun thing for me to do.
But see, that's
Um,
that natural. People are getting you. You're not putting on a persona, if that makes sense, to gain viewership. It's genuinely you, which is exactly the same as me, and everyone on the team is like that. We don't
yeah.
put on a persona of who we are.
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't, if I said it wasn't like a very slightly over exaggerated version of me.
I
Like,
mean, look, yeah. I mean, I'll take things and run with it.
yeah, exactly. Like there have been streams where like I've been a bit more energetic, and there's streams where I've been a bit more laid back,
Yeah.
and that's not to say that one's more me than the other, because they're both me.
Yeah.
It's just like a different way, different streams call for different ways of approaching them. Like if I was to do Pokemon shiny hunting, that's a very laid back thing unless something funny's happening. But like a playthrough, I'm very invested in the game, very invested in what happens. Something happens, I'm like, whoa, look at that. But it's still me, and the fact that people even want to stay and watch me in general is such a weird thing. And like years ago, I used to care so much about what people think. Like if I walk to a room full of people I don't know, what's the first thing they think of me? Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. I
Like,
mean, and that's the thing, I don't, I got, I think that's helped me with Twitch a lot. I mean, you get trolls and shit like that, and that
yeah,
happens, but
I've had trolls.
it's, look, I know I've been in chat, but you don't have to call me a troll. Um,
uh,
but at the end of the day, it's like I think it's given me a bit more of a thick skin when it comes to people judging me. I'm at a point where I'm just like, I don't care what you think of me. If you enjoy what I do and you have fun, and that's exactly what I want out of this. But at the end of the day, if you don't like my personality, that's fine. I don't
yeah,
care. If you're judging me, I don't care. Fine, be like that.
there's plenty of other people for you to watch. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And not everyone's going to get it, and you can't please everyone, and that's not just in
no,
streaming. That's just in general. If you're going out to aim to please everyone, you are going to fall flat on your face, and it's really toxic to your own health.
the CD Project Red. Oh,
Oh, um, so yeah, before we go on and sort of wrap everything up, I will, seeing Matthias has very kindly sort of like thrown it in the chat for me. I will talk about Juju. I did mention Juju before, but Juju is one of our partners.
yeah,
We
sure.
partnered with Juju Energy, and they are amazing. I have actually been drinking Juju during the stream.
Oh,
I've been having, what did I have? Was it great? Yeah, it's great. So I got my grape juju, which interesting news. Um, Horchata's out at the moment. They've run out of stock, so they will be restocking it at some stage, which is the Mexican milk drink flavor one. It's really popular. They are retiring Lemon Drop, which I'm so
oh,
sad about, and
oh.
Danny is devastated because that's one of his favorites. But they are bringing another flavor in to replace it, like a lemonade flavor. So that's going to be interesting.
Ooh.
And there's a new flavor coming out in January.
Ooh.
Danny's not impressed, but that's not because of Juju. It's just he doesn't generally like that flavor. But I am very excited. I can't say any more than that. So
Interesting,
yeah.
interesting.
Um, so yeah. Other than that, yeah. So it's very good for you. It's vitamins, minerals. It's got Lutamax in it, which is good for your eyes. You know, if you spend a lot of time looking at the computer, you got that blue light that comes from your computer. It can be very damaging to your eyes. So it helps with that. It's low sugar. It's good for you if compatible with keto and things like that as well if you like low carb and that diets and stuff. So yeah, and they're just getting bigger and bigger as a company. It's growing even in the time that I've been associated with them as part of AG. So yeah, if you want to check it out, you can go to their website. It's jujuenergy.com, and you can use AGFAM for 10% discount, and we get a commission out of that, so it helps us do stuff as well. But yeah, it's good. What else? So yeah, that's Juju. Make sure you check that out. So yeah,
Yeah. Final note on 2020 and moving into 2021. Go. Final thing you want to say?
okay. First and foremost, Cinder's talking about personal growth in his own life. I also just want to say, and I would be very remiss if I didn't say this, and a few people would be very disappointed if I didn't bring this up. Um, in that I'm very proud of Cinder on a serious note, but I'm also very proud of Cinder on another note. You know, Cinder came to terms with something in the last couple of days, and he's cringing. I can see
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
came to terms in the last couple of days, and there was a tweet and there's mentions of it in AG and that. But we've established that Cinder has come to terms with the fact that he's a dick.
Clarification. My phone got rated. Right. It's alright
Some
because bees are quack. It's fine.
oh no, we don't talk about quackers, but no, there was a bit of a joke going around. Riley very funnily somehow got into Luke's phone and
I
tweeted.
knew he had it. I
Uh,
just didn't know where he was living.
yeah, what he was well, there you go. And he tweeted a thing saying that he was a dick, which is like a little like rodent,
It's a deer.
kangaroo, wallaby, deer thing. It's kind of weird looking. I mean that explains everything.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, that was a startling revelation. I had to make a mention to it because I'm sure Riley will greatly appreciate me doing so.
For
Uh,
those that are wondering why my Discord picture is still of a dick. That hold on. Right.
is it still of a
Phone
dick?
wallpaper.
Yeah, that's a dick.
So yeah. But yeah, final note 2020 going to 2021.
So yeah, on a serious note now, or semi serious, because nothing I say is serious. Um, Next year, so there will be a lull for the next couple of weeks over the holidays. Doesn't mean that you can't be in the Discord and chat and all that, you know. There we will be going full force into next year. I am going to say this much. I haven't discussed this with any of the management. This is me just pulling my ownership powers.
Oh.
I would say keep your eyes open and just I'll be around. I'll be looking. Let's just say January might see an addition.
Oh snap. Alright.
So uh,
You had it here first.
I can literally read what Reach is writing there and picture that freaking duck thing or geese or whatever is
Oh, my
your
favorite
favorite
meme.
gift that yeah. So keep your eye out for that. If you are aspiring to be on the AG team, there's not going to necessarily be an official like recruitment challenge at the start of the year, but I will be watching. And you know, I have some people on my list who I have been watching for a while, and I think would be great fits for the team.
If you want to join, just keep doing your thing. Just be yourself.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Don't be shy. Talk in the Discord. You know,
yeah.
you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Here's the other thing. You don't have to be super active. It's not. I don't look at. I don't measure that kind of stuff. You know, it's more so about supporting each other. You know, and I don't mean lurking and everyone. If you want to do that, awesome. You know, that's great. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not something I quantify. It's just that I like to see people actually genuinely support each other on a more personal level as opposed to exchange of numbers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, I B sees all, B's knows all, B knows fuck all.
Yeah. On behalf of both of us here and everyone, like in the Aura Guardians, both management and just everyone, like AuraCast became a thing this year. Like, thank you for all the support you've shown for it, because the support that's been shown for it, we're now on here, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on another one that I can't remember.
Google.
That's one. And that wouldn't be possible, and we wouldn't get listeners for the fact if it weren't for the fact that you're not supporting in the first place. So just want to throw thanks out there, and just keep being yourselves. 2020 was a weird year, but 2021 is surely going to be a year of many opportunities, and it's just up to us to take them, really.
Exactly.
That's all I have to say.
So I think it's a good point to wrap up. You know, it's been a hell of a year. It's had some positives, it's had some negatives. Boy, has had some negatives, but we've had some positives. Cling on to the positives. 2021, AG is going to continue to grow, continue to add to, continue to build, continue to create. And, you know, I want it to be a very inclusive, open, friendly community and team. And, you know, most importantly, thank you for supporting the team, the AuraCast, and each other. And most importantly, have a wonderful holiday break. Have a wonderful New Year's. Behave. Or don't behave, as long as you're safe. That's the main thing.
One thing I always tell is behave, but if you don't behave, don't get caught, you'll be fine.
Oh, good lord.
We didn't do that for me.
And
yeah,
the other thing is just look after yourselves. We're still living in very dangerous times. And, you know, don't be shy. Be around the Discord. And yeah, just take care.
Yeah, we'll get through this. We all will.
So anyway, for the last time in 2020, this has been DragonBeaz.
And this has been Cinder. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in 2021.
And he didn't say about Gen 4 remake, so I'm going to. Bye, guys.